Good.
All right.
What's the last couple days been like from just an all emotions standpoint?
It's been okay. You know, nothing that's happened that isn't anything that we didn't expect. You know, some form of that. I'm not saying we expected the exact details, but no, everything's been fine. It's kind of been business as usual, to be honest. And today was really good to get on the court. The guys worked their tails off today. We had a really good first day. Very encouraged leaving out here after today.
Yeah, how come?
I'd say energy, effort, also execution. You know, wasn't great, obviously, but it wasn't awful by any stretch. I mean, we there's been days where the walls got as much practice catching the ball as actually hands did, and that was only the case a few times today. So I just thought we looked better, and we looked like we were a year older, obviously, than what we were last year. How we finished.
Yeah, which I said you met with your team kind of about Monday's news. Are you worried about it being a distraction for your guys and the program overall?
I don't think it'll be any distraction for our players.
Okay.
You know, none of our players that we have in our program are involved. So no matter what anybody says, none are involved. But I do think it could become that if I'm not very mature about it. And I plan on being very mature about this, and I'm planning on coaching this team harder and better than I have any team that I've had here in Kansas. So I don't see it as being a distraction at all from a player standpoint, and I see it as being a gift to me from a personal standpoint that it'll motivate me, you know, in a pretty competitive way.
What about time constraints for you, having to do whatever you got to do?
As far,
getting stuff prepared.
No, I think attorneys are hired to do that stuff. So I'm not saying that it won't cross my mind, but that's not my job at all to prepare or anything like that. My time is probably as open as it has been at any point in time. I've always found some way to occupy my time, and I don't think that'll be certainly any different this time or this year. But I don't see time. I don't see outside noise. I don't see that as being a distraction.
Yeah, after the Silvios stuff was resolved, you kind of revealed, hey, I spent a lot of time with lawyers. You don't anticipate that being the case then this time?
Well, we were fighting for an individual.
Right.
It's a little bit different, and a lot of water's been under the bridge since then. So I think all parties are probably, now at least you have a permanent target that you can kind of look at. Whereas before it's kind of abstract. It's conjecture, and you're trying to guess on what's going on. That's not the case anymore. So I really don't think it won't take as much time away from anything compared to what it did, 5%.
What message would you have for fans that might be concerned about what was happening?
I think that we're going to have a terrific basketball team, and I think that this team, obviously, like any player that's played here, has represented this university in a very first-class way, and they deserve to be supported. And our players believe that'll happen because we have the best fans in the country. People always can be concerned about the future in all areas or avenues. Depending on what's happening with anybody personally in their life, they can be concerned about the future, which I think that can certainly be the case here. But I don't think it should take away one bit from what's getting ready to happen this year. That's going to be putting a team on the floor that's going to be awfully fun to watch us.
Did you address on Monday the team?
No, I did not.
No. After that?
I did. I told them before that this was probably going to happen.
Gotcha.
After the media weeks. Gotcha. So
they were prepared too. Yeah.
Well, they weren't prepared as far as knowing what was being away, but they were prepared that based on media reports and based on our experiences, there's a great chance that we're going to receive notice of allegations on Monday. So it went down exactly as I told them.
any general message you kind of have for them as far as like trying to block out the distractions and
Here we are, we're talking about distractions of the season, and we just had our first practice. There'll be girlfriend problems. There'll be academic classes that we're struggling in. There'll be something that happened at everybody's respective in their hometown. There'll be a plethora of things that could potentially become distractions. So I don't think that give them a pep talk on that right now would probably be the best thing to do. But I do think this, based on they know that we got this. I mean, they do, and they're not involved, and so if they're not involved, there's no reason why they should burn any energy thinking about this.
Are you concerned at all about recruiting challenges?
To be honest with you, Gary, I've been concerned about recruiting challenges, I think, for the last 27 years I've been a head coach. I mean, every place has its own challenges. Now this gives us some unique challenges that also we can somehow look at them as opportunities too. But sure, that's always going to be an issue. But in the past, when you've gone against Kentucky and Carolina and Duke and Michigan State or UCLA or whoever to get the players that you're recruiting, they're all challenges. So certainly we've got our hands full with this, but we'll end up I think having a very good recruiting.
In your eyes, is the timeline of this one a positive? I mean, that it is drawn out and people expect it to go past the season and maybe even into next summer. Is that a positive?
I really don't know. You should probably ask an expert on that, on what would be positive or not positive on that, because I don't know from a strategy standpoint if there is a better time. Oh, I'm sorry. If there is a better time on the timeline, because I've never experienced anything like this. But no time is the best time. But I am real excited about this team's hopefully their abilities and their motivation to try to do some special things this year.
You lost a player. What does that do to the point guard position?
Nothing. He wouldn't appoint anyway.
Okay.
Marcus was probably going to be our backup point regardless. Mac, people equate. I get such a kick out of this. Well, he's a point guard because he's not very tall, or he's a big guy because he's tall. I mean, everybody's skill set is different, and Mackey's skill set was one in which he was a scorer and not an initiator so much. So I wasn't really looking at him to be that anyway. But Marcus, putting him an opportunity to play back there some, I think he's very excited.
It seems like you're going to have Chancellor and your athletic director's support on this. What does it mean to you to have their support backing you fully on this?
Well, I feel good about it. I can't speak for them, but certainly I'm appreciative of the way the school has handled this situation, and I'm appreciative of the way I think it'll be handled moving forward and those sorts of things. So, but I don't want to speak to how they feel or what they think or what they've said, because they're the ones that should answer those questions.
How did your young guys do day one? It's a different level, right?
I think the one thing that has probably surprised them as much as anything is they did well, but I think about an hour into it, they thought we'd already practiced 2.5 hours. And at the end, they probably thought we went 4. We went an hour and 59 minutes today. And so and I think the one thing that is new with all, that's obviously the toughest thing for all young kids to overcome early is just the pace. Everything is fast. I mean, even your pass and go aways are quicker, or whatever. It's much at a much quicker pace. And so I believe that'll be the biggest thing, and that's going to take time. But they did well.
Any definite red shirt news?
No, Gary, there isn't anything. We haven't talked about distractions on the first day of practice, and we certainly haven't talked about red shirt on the first day of practice.
How about late night?
We talked a little bit. Yeah, we talked about late night a little bit, and hopefully we'll announce who's going to be entertaining us.
Do you know?
I've got a good idea. Get with Jesse. He gets leaks from anybody, so just get with Jesse.
Is everybody healthy?
Huh? Everybody. Well, Isaiah tweaked his hamstring today, and Mish caught a shiner today. He got an elbow today, and got about 5 or 6 stitches. So, other than that, it's not that big a match.
You fought so hard for Silvio, right, to have this opportunity,
Yeah.
and this was day one for him of that new beginning. What did you see from him today, and also how excited are you to just know that, hey, this kid can play now?
Well, first of all, he's a good player. You guys know that. But even his freshman year, he really didn't have a chance to really contribute in a meaningful way until after Doe got hurt at the very end. I mean, he had his moments, but it was more hit and miss. But then he got pretty good the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and certainly we thought that he would have a big year last year, and that opportunity didn't present itself. And I think he's pretty motivated. He looks. How bad is it, bud?
Okay.
How many did you get? 6. God, you'll be tougher. President Mitch is even going to look tougher now than before. But I think Silvio's prepared to have a big year. His energy level doesn't always run at a 10, but when it does, he's pretty good. So we just got to get him to have consistent energy.
All right, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks.